Somewhere in this world is a tree, which roots stretch out over a mile. People said that this tree is the only remains of the world tree. Some said it is only a sprout of the Yggdrasil. But what do you know? Legend said that this tree is a home for creatures rustling in the night. These are beings capable of learning the arts of combat. And among them is a rover, a vagabond in pursuit of strong opponents seeking to test his strength in the thrill of battle. He set out onto his journey for glory without a specific destination. As he passed around the village, he noticed a commotion. Around the corner is a platform, and as he set his eyes on the setting, he couldn't help himself setting his sword to one of the soldiers to create a commotion as villagers is in the brink of execution. No one knows anything about the wanderer but his dual wielding. He slashed and dashed through the soldiers, cutting them one by one. Then he swung his sword upward, lifting the soldier into the air, then slashing with magnificent strength. The villagers are in awe from what they have seen, but the wanderer left hastily to secure his identity. The wanderer stays around the outskirts of the village for a time. He keeps recalling about the encounter with the soldiers. Someone was actually using a wooden pole compared to others who were using blades and guns. He wandered to the outskirts of the village and he knew that the captain of the soldiers is a master of long pole techniques. He started to feel the urge of excitement fighting this personality. So he wreaked havoc every soldier encountered around the town, defeating every soldier that stands in the way. Just as he enters the last encampment, the furious captain was sitting in the upper level to welcome his arrival. He challenged the wanderer to face against a champion for his trial. The giant roars as he enters the battle. As the wanderer dashed to cover the distance, the giant slammed into the ground, causing shockwave in the arena. He swiftly approached the giant with one thing in mind. He knows that his sword won't reach the head, so he targeted the legs and the knees to cut off his balance. The giant stomped and stomped to prevent the swift slashes of the wanderer, causing small shockwave around it. However, the wanderer's agile body easily dodges the giant's attack. He slashed the lower body again and again until the giant falls down. The captain had no choice but to accept the challenge as his champion fell into the ground. Now, the showdown begins. As the battle started, the wanderer lured the captain into the upper ground to isolate him from the prisoners and his guards. The captain jumped and dashed into the wanderer like a bullet, commencing his attack. The wanderer dodged and slashed the captain in return. The blows continue to exchange. fight continues, the Wanderer couldn't help to observe how refined his captain's movements is with the long pole. His barrage of swift strikes is easily countered by the long pole, and every slam of it was as heavy as the giant stump and as fast as a whip. The Wanderer can stay on the offensive, but as the fight dragged on, he noticed that the captain is furious and already lost its temper because of humiliation from his soldiers and destroyed encampments. The captain always stays on the offensive without thinking. The Wanderer continuously created the distance between them and be reactive to the captain's engagements, waiting for the perfect time to counter. The fight was close as it can be. The two fighters are toe-to-toe with each other. But with the perfect timing to dodge and attack together with some help of medicinal remedy, he endured and turned the tides of battle and be the victor of the showdown. As rumors regarding this Wanderer spread throughout the village with him keeping his identity, a mysterious elderly approached him as if it knows the Wanderer. The elderly asked the Wanderer of his fervor of combat to a point that he ransacked every encampment just to fight the captain. The Wanderer replied that he cannot restrain himself the excitement of battle given that there are still masters of traditional fighting techniques around. The elderly smirked after hearing it and suddenly posed a serious expression. The old man told the Wanderer that there are actually 5 masters in the region, each with different ways of fighting. The closest one is in the east, a master of hook and chains. Then the elderly left. The Wanderer felt the excitement once again rushing in him. Now he knows his destination. He sets his journey on to the east, passing village after village. And at one village near the destination, a sudden encounter befalls him. A group of bandits was taking over the village, and one of them was as tall as the champion of the soldiers he fought in the encampment. He fought the first bandit with ease before engaging the giant. The giant sent a launch of heavy punch, but the Wanderer dodged it, sliding between the gap of the giant's leg, further slashing its rear. The giant grabs the Wanderer and slams him into the ground. He flinched, but he didn't falter. Engaging once again to the giant's leg, the giant throws a heavy punch once again, knocking the Wanderer back. He followed with a head ramp, but the Wanderer parried and slashed the leg. The giant fell onto his knees. The Wanderer never skipped the chance and struck its head in succession. Getting weaker and weaker, the Wanderer continued its barrage, felling the giant down. As the other bandits saw what happened, they ran in rage towards the Wanderer. With the momentum on his side, the Wanderer cut the bandits down with his signature air strikes. He reached the destination, a village full of farmers with poor harvest. He observed the surrounding place. The soil in this land was actually rich, moist, and perfect place to farm. But the granary is empty, but he couldn't feel at ease. Something was bothering him. On his way into the village, he noticed that he is followed but didn't give much attention. quickly ran around the village to get rid of the strange followers and easily cornered them. These people are actually the prisoners who fought alongside him in the encampment. They are originally from this village, left to seek aid from the neighboring town. But on the way, they mugged by bandits. Afraid to return home with nothing that could make the people of the village lose their hope, they pressed on with nothing at hand. With nothing to eat, they gambled their lives and stole food from houses until they were caught by the soldiers. Then the wanderer asked why seek the aid from the neighboring town. They replied, the village was ransacked and captured by bandits. Their harvests are taken and forced them to farm without much in return. The bandits have advanced weaponry and fire gun. The village can fight that thing. Weapons aside, the bandit leader is a virtuoso of hook and chains. The scenario has never been perfect to the wanderer. He didn't need to search for the next master at all. But before he fights the bandit leader, he needs to help the villagers and free them from oppression. With the help of the former prisoners, they rush the bandit outpost in intrusion. The outlaws of the outpost are already armed as if ready to fight any moment. Then the clashing began. The moment they defeated the bandit outlaws, the weaponry self-fired. Large ammunitions that explode at a given time. The wanderer quickly took action and deflect the projectiles back into the firearm. Now, they pressed on, but the next wave is something. They have mechanisms that breathe fire, limiting their movement in the field. But still, they need to fight. The wanderer rushes onto the mechanism, searching a way to destroy it, but he can't. He cannot examine this firearm without the disturbance of outlaws. They are not equipped with daggers and blades, but with rifles. After defeating the gun-wielding outlaws, he ran to the mechanism once again and noticed one thing. It seemingly follows the movement of the wanderer, breathing fire wherever he goes. He needs to be faster than the movement of the mechanism, so he circled around swiftly, then turning the valve that fuels the fire before destroying it. They succeeded in destroying the farms of the bandit. And there's only one thing to do for the Wanderer. To fight the master of hook and chains. They quickly ran to the last corner of the outpost, and what welcomed them? The bandit leader and his henchmen. The fight began, and the Wanderer quickly grabbed the attention of the leader, luring it again far from the clash between the henchmen and the former prisoners. He wants to fight the master single-handedly after all. The master displayed his technique beautifully. The swings are wide and the hooks are sharp. The Wanderer commences his attack once again, but this time the hook clasps his feet, pulling him into the air, then slamming him into the ground. The master swings the chains in circles as he moves, shielding his body from incoming attacks. It's offense, it's also its defense. No room for opening. The fight continues, and the same series of action. The hook keeps attaching to the Wanderer, then slam him into the ground, but it never proves fatal. It is not something that can pierce the Wanderer. The slam is weaker than the giant bandit. The Wanderer endured these attacks as he continues his offense. The Wanderer gets used to the master's technique, and at one time, he parried and dodged it. His slashes are more fatal than the bandit leader wearing it out. The victory is already set. The Wanderer succeeded in subjugating the bandits in the village and defeating the master. It is a bittersweet victory for the Wanderer. He did win, but felt discontent. They interrogated the bandits regarding the weapons. It was actually supplied from the west, where an industry was built and manufacturers of firearms. The one who controls the place is a skilled hunter, a master of bow, and his arrows pierces layers of metal, besting every firearm they produce. The Wanderer learned everything from the bandit, and he has one thing in mind. His destination is set. Thank you for watching. For more stories like this, hit the subscribe button and leave a like. See you in the next episode.